You just won 1 million!
Welcome to WatchMojo UK, and today we're counting down our picks for the most infamous television scams in British history.
I've played TV quiz shows for just over 3 weeks, and in that 3 weeks I racked up a telephone bill of over £350.
Before we begin, we publish new content every day, so be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. Number 10. Wicks Killer Bar.
The truth is, it's Britain's most dangerous health bar.
Killer, do not eat this bar.
In the past few years, Wicks has risen to fame as a healthy living influencer. He began on social media, then rose to creating books, and even creating the 2025 documentary License to Kill.
Killer Bar is my way of making a difference. It's going to put pressure on the government. I'm not pissing around, I will sell this. Killer Bar, here we come.
His goal was to make the most dangerous protein bar possible, all using legal ingredients. It was massively criticized, with many claiming it spread misinformation and that he was profiting from fear-mongering. Tons of people from the protein bar industry voiced their complaints, claiming that his negativity towards processed foods and protein bars was unfair.
I've had my wobbles, but I am fully on board. There's no going back. These bars are going to market. Because at the moment, the system is against us.
Despite his opposition to protein bars, the Killer Bar is available to buy, making his point feel far less genuine, as he's clearly profiting off something he vocally opposes.
But could you say they're evil? I don't know. There's a lot in there that you wouldn't want to eat. And I would not want me or my kids eating this for breakfast.
Number 9. Spaghetti Harvest.
Well, it's simply that the past winter, one of the mildest in living memory, has had its effect in other ways as well. Most important of all, it's resulted in an exceptionally heavy spaghetti crop. The last 2 weeks of
April Fool's Day comes along once a year, but that doesn't stop people from believing a bunch of nonsense every time it comes around.
Many of you, I'm sure, will have seen pictures of the vast spaghetti plantations in the Po Valley.
One of the most successful April Fool's pranks in history came in 1957, when the BBC broadcast a 3-minute segment about spaghetti trees.
The last 2 weeks of March are an anxious time for the spaghetti farmer. There's always the chance of a late frost, which, while not entirely ruining the crop, generally impairs the flavour.
It was a segment of Panorama which showed Swiss farmers picking spaghetti from trees.
Spaghetti cultivation here in Switzerland is not, of course, carried out on anything like the tremendous scale of the Italian industry.
Despite the ridiculous nature of the segment, millions of people tuned in, and tons were convinced. This led to an influx of phone calls on April 2nd, with people asking how to grow spaghetti trees of their own.
For those who love this dish, there's nothing like real homegrown spaghetti.
Number 8. Blue Peter cat name scandal.
This cat has a lot to answer for. A row over his name has led to the suspension of a former Blue Peter programme editor and has undermined the integrity of the show.
It would be surprising if Blue Peter had never had a scandal in its almost 7 decades on the air. One of its most infamous came in 2007, when they rigged a vote to decide the name of their new kitten.
When I press this button, we will reveal the 8th Blue Peter kitten. Off we go. Suspense.
An online poll was held, and the name Cookie came out on top, but the staff decided to fix the votes, so Socks won.
Oh, Socks!
Socks, there it is!
Oh, look at Oh, Socks, how do you like your new name?
Wow, what about
Oh, he is thrown away.
After this was met with backlash, they broadcast an apology, alongside bringing on a new kitten who was named Cookie. It's unclear why they disliked the name Cookie at first, but there were only 5 options on the poll, all chosen by themselves. So if they really didn't want Cookie to win, they shouldn't have added it at all.
But he was called Socks, the name that came second. That was wrong, and so today we'd like to say that we're sorry.
Number 7. Derek Acorah.
Over there.
One of Britain's most infamous TV psychics was Derek Acorah. In the 2000s, he rose to prominence for his antics on the ghost hunting series Most Haunted. Acorah was known for the intensity of his possessions, with him being controlled by bizarre ghosts like monkeys.
Derek sometimes gets possessed. This can happen quite a lot. This has been happening quite frequently.
Host Yvette Fielding denied that anything on the show was faked, which turned out to be false. All along, Acorah had been lying about his powers.
Is he telling you something, Derek? Is Sam giving you a name?
Creed!
He was exposed when the show's resident skeptic fed him false information about a spirit whose name was an anagram of Derek Faker.
Creed!
Derek?
He ate it up, causing him to be exposed on national television as a fake. Number 6, ITV Digital.
It's left 1 million subscribers in the lurch and commercial television in disarray. So how did a service fronted by a monkey turn into Britain's most expensive TV disaster?
One of the most costly business decisions in broadcasting history was the launch of ITV Digital. It was intended to rival Sky, but was far more expensive and not as well received.
The collapse of ITV Digital has left some of the most famous names in English football facing ruin.
In the first half of 2001, it allegedly lost Granada £69 million. A year later, it was claimed to be losing £1 million a day.
Their first mistake was pretty basic. They hadn't produced enough boxes. Poor Mark Arnell had none to sell.
One of its biggest failures was how easy it was to pirate, as people figured out how to crack it, but then the creators didn't bother to update the software to prevent it.
Now Sky was doing it, they had no choice but to announce their own free offer. It cost them a cool $240 million.
They also didn't deliver the products on time, but this is barely scratching the surface of why it was such a shambolic service.
ITV Digital, they were prepared to pay sums of money which would buy you the crown jewels, but instead got a few coppers. And there was no way that they could ever get their money back.
Number 5, Nick Russian-Con.
I trusted you, man. A lot of people trusted you. You've let us down.
Our next entry is potentially the largest scam in reality TV history, despite never making it to television. In 2002, Nick Russian advertised a new reality series that would take place over a year.
The setup looked highly professional, but it was the producer, Nick Russian, who most impressed the contestants.
Contestants had the opportunity to win £100,000, leading 30 people to quit their jobs and move to London to work with him.
Successful applicants were invited to auditions on a private island on the Thames. From the moment they arrived, the cameras were rolling.
Many quickly quit after learning the challenge was to accumulate £1 million in a year, meaning they were working to obtain their own prize money. A handful of contestants surprisingly stuck around, but it was far from glamorous.
Work, and I was like, oh my god, oh my god, oh my gosh, you know.
I don't think I slept for about 48 hours, thinking that I was going away for a year, anywhere in the world, all paid for, and getting to meet people that I've probably never dreamed of meeting.
Russian himself ended up homeless, and they were all sleeping on the cameraman's floor. Russian went into hiding briefly, but eventually apologized for his blunder.
You realize that people still homeless because of what you did.
I'm still homeless because of this.
The whole setup. Was there even an office? Was there? Does NRP exist?
No.
It doesn't. There's no company such as NRP.
Number 4, Charles Ingram.
Now, we've got 8 left. How many got it right? All these were correct. Most of them, nearly all of them. Who was fastest? Charles Ingram in 3.97.
The most significant scandal in Who Wants to Be a Millionaire history was probably when Charles Ingram was accused of cheating. He defied expectations and managed to win £1 million, but people quickly accused him of deception.
Eurosceptic, Eurostar, Eurotrash, Eurovision.
Eurosceptic.
Right answer, £200.
Supposedly, his wife in the audience used coughing to indicate what the correct answers were. Ingram didn't get the winnings and was instead taken to trial.
Can't see any clues in your face. Holbein, yeah. Holbein.
You just won 125,000.
Charles and his wife got an 18-month suspended sentence for their actions. Despite being found guilty, the pair maintained that they're innocent, claiming the recording of his appearance was manipulated to make it look as if they were cheating.
You are the most amazing contestant we've ever had!
Number 3. ITV Play.
Even mainstream broadcasters have been unable to resist the potential riches of quiz phone-ins.
In 2006, ITV decided to launch this channel dedicated solely to phone-in quiz shows, which ended up lasting only a year. That's because many people believed it was a gambling channel.
ITV1 switches to its quiz brand ITV Play late at night. Even so, in the first 6 months of its operation, ITV Play made £9 million.
Calls cost a ludicrous amount, and you were limited to being able to make £150 a day, meaning people could spend up to £112.50 daily.
Since last March, it's given away over £8 million to 20,000 winners. On air 37 hours a week.
Additionally, a lot of the questions were ridiculously abstract. For instance, viewers were once asked what they'd find in a woman's handbag, with the answers perplexingly being balaclavas and roll plugs.
ITV Play claims to do this kind of television better than the rest and completely above board. It says its guiding principle is fairness and honesty.
One MP said it was tantamount to theft, and it's hard to disagree. The only positive thing we can say about it is that it was shut down in only a year.
On air 37 hours a week, ITV Play has in the past attracted up to 100,000 callers an hour at up to 75 pence a time. As Quiz TV goes, ITV Play is big.
Number 2. This Morning Dementia Fraudster.
The problem is here is that getting a diagnosis was really hard. It took a really long time.
It was an absolute battle.
Frontotemporal dementia is one of the rarest varieties of dementia, which usually begins when people are between the ages of 45 and 64. Laura Borrell appeared on This Morning in 2017, claiming to be the youngest person diagnosed with the condition.
And one neurologist completely missed it, in quite an appalling way, actually.
Yeah, they were vile.
It turned out to be a complete lie. She was exposed in 2022 when it turned out her mother, who claimed she was so ill she was bedbound, had been lying for years. She'd stolen over £600,000 from Hertfordshire County Council with assistance from her daughter, Laura Borrell. Laura and her mother were found guilty of fraud, getting themselves both locked behind bars in 2022.
To hear the words dementia for anybody is like what we said, an absolute fear, very scary, but at your age, probably the last thing you thought you were going to hear.
Number 1. Premium rate phone-in scandal.
I must have phoned 50 or 60 times. I did not get through once, and I was unaware that every time I rang I was being charged 75p for it.
Our top spot should come as no surprise, since you could easily argue that this was the most significant scandal in UK TV history. In 2007, it turned out that numerous TV and radio stations had cheated viewers out of millions.
The show takes tens of thousands of calls every day, and they cost well over £1 a time.
People had been paying premium rates for calls and texts to enter competitions, which it turned out they had zero chance of winning.
Lines may have closed at midnight, but according to an email within this information, the winners were chosen an hour before that at 11 p.m.
It led to an overwhelming quantity of fines. Anton Deck's Saturday Night Takeaway got the largest fine of £3 million for its fraudulent deeds. Ofcom followed up by increasing the maximum fine they could issue as a way to deter broadcasters from trying such scams again.
We took our evidence to a barrister who specialises in fraud cases. His opinion was that this was fraud, plain and simple.
Were you already aware of all of these? Or were there any especially egregious scams we didn't include? Let us know in those comments below.